How we doing, Thew crew? Welcome to Address 9, Episode 1! Now, it's been a little while since we dropped in on the old classics Decepticon jet figure, and I'm reminded it's certainly taken us on some adventures. I mean, it's been around for a decade at this point, but even now, 30 versions later, I still find myself rather enduringly enamoured with it. Like, it popped up in my second ever video, my first ever one-shot review, it was my first ever custom, there was a knockoff one, and I must confess I did catch myself unwittingly buying all the standard retail Seekers and gradually replacing them with the Japanese versions, like the elitist scumbag I always kinda knew I'd become. And with all that said, let's give it some 10th birthday big-ups with a horrendously overpriced exclusive version of the same old damn thing again. It's episode 171 and it's time to say, ruddy hell, it's Nacelle. Yes indeed, this is Nacelle, or Nacelle, and he's one of those annoyingly lovely toys from the Transformers Collectors Club subscription service that requires a discouraging amount of hoop jumping. Like you gotta join the club, sign up to the subscription service, go back in time to when that was possible, drop $1 quadrillion and wait a quintillion forevers. Or if you're me, just rock up to Rollout Roll Call and snap one up off the sign-in desk, because apparently a hyper-expensive slight alteration on something I've already got 9 of is what qualifies as an impulse purchase now. Who am I? What is my life now? Can I ever stop? So check it out, Nacelle is in fact a marginally original take on the old Seekerino, with thrusty wings and ankle spurs and that's literally it. Aside from that, it's just another excuse to revisit the pure class of the old 06 Jet Jaguar, with its sublime slender chunkiness and frustrating almost awesomeness. I mean, it is a beautiful thing, and basically a modern classic with its cubic forearms and dapper Decepticonic charm. But like the arms are still hampered and the head still only moves a smidge. But this part ain't about mechanics anymore, the Seekers are all about superficials now, baby. Seekerficial? Does that work? So let's get shallow, shall we? Yes, indeed, little Nene's looking sickening in this patriotic little number, serving ultramarine realness with a side of ravishing red velvet and heavenly white. Check out the cheeky bicep Deceptitats with a smattering of pertinent yellow pinpricks on its knees, peepers and nips, and I just adore the furious red Hellboy face. Now, the old girl's definitely got some miles on the clock, and I was worried the potential mold degradation might have left him a bit on the wibbly side. Generally, it feels pretty solid. Mind you, I've caught a couple of horror stories about the old wing joints there, so, you know, kid gloves and all that. I guess the old Fun Pub Club weren't too bothered about gimmicks either, seeing as the launches are about as misguided and underpowered as Dan Hibiki. I also love that Nacelle seems to be a totally new dude on the scene. Like, he's got an all-new backstory, and he's clearly not just one of the infinity billion no-name Deceptor scrubs from the cartoon. Here's a green one. Here's a yellow one. Boring! Nacelle ain't having none of that noise, and he feels so refreshing, relatively. I mean, after such a long run of same old Seekers, he's keeping it as fresh as he can, with an original bio, a unique parts layout, a sharp outfit, and a name that isn't just something Storm. Nacelle. Always feels good. So transforming this thing kind of feels like a remastering of a classic album. Like it's very much just going over the same old ground on autopilot with, I think, programmed drums. But it feels reinvigorated and weirdly novel, and for some reason it costs more. So what this thing's actually based on... Brace yourself, this is super nerdy. It's based on a single long-forgotten catalogue featuring a pre-release prototype of the 1985 Seeker, which was actually just Thundercracker with test-coloured thrust wings from before they'd even decided what to do with it. So of course the club pounced on that shit and gave it a name and churned it out in a bland cardboard box for bored, useless man-babies to salivate over. And salivate I shall, because this thing looks tasty. I mean, check it out, it just looks so slick in this delicious deep blue, which is probably distinct from Thundercracker and Dirge by like 1 Pantone iota. And look, it's a regular long-nose F-15 with the wings of a thrust. And these aren't even the regular release Generations thrust wings with the flat styles and clip-on engines for some reason. No, sir, these are the 2007 Botcon thrust wings with the built-in turbines. You know, the ones that are clearly better. They do look a little weird in the flat white and red. Like, it gives it kind of the air of a work in progress, but I guess that was what they were going for. It does get a touch crowded once you pop the weapons on there, and like it's a bit of a bummer that the tail fins are the wrong way up, but there's no way I'm gonna try and fix it, so it's fine. So that's Nacelle. I mean, look, I paid 70 quid for the damn thing. I'm gonna call it what I want. It's bad, isn't it, that a semi-fresh colour scheme and slightly interesting wings and a super nerdy Genesis is all it takes to sell me into the collector cult. I mean, I enjoy that it's rare, but it's the wrong kind of rare. I mean, it's not like it's an underappreciated classic from the 80s and there aren't any left. It's from last year. They just didn't make as many and then made it a pain in the ass to get one. But look, there's just something about this guy's specific blend of novelty and familiarity and surprise that it exists that just really appeals to something deep down in there. It's weird, it's cool, it's pretty, it's blue, and I just really wanted it. Anyway, thanks for watching. My name's Thew, and I just made a whole video about Seekers without mentioning Skywarp. Oh, shit.
Be sure to subscribe for more Thew's awesome Transformers reviews. Limited appeal, keeping it real.